So these clients came to us and they had a house that was illegal. It didn't have CCC, and we didn't really understand why or what had been done or what needed to be done to get it there. We had to pull a property file for this site and comb through 250 plus files to work out what the previous homeowner had done, the previous builder, and it turns out he had got a consent in 2011 for an extension out here, an extension out the other side of the house, and then he had amended that building consent in 2020. Everything that he had completed on site hadn't been done to those plans or compliant with the building codes.
From that point, we found out that nothing was inspected, nothing was compliant. So we then had an on-site meeting with the council to understand what they knew about the job. They knew nothing. We then had to go through the process of getting plans drawn for the reduction in scope, and then another couple further meetings with the council on site. We discovered that we would have to remove a significant amount of work that had been previously done. In that process, we kind of found that there was a whole lot of poor workmanship that we couldn't visibly see. Got all of the defective workmanship resolved, fixed. We reduced the scope, got our minor variation passed. Bear in mind, this is 12 months after the initial consultation with the clients. We finally got the minor variation passed. And yeah, we've just rolling through the motions ever since, and now we're a week away from lining it.
So this area of the house was half of the extension that was proposed, and this was what was built by the previous client when we started day one on site. And originally we thought the easiest way to proceed would be to get a COA, which is a Code of Acceptance certificate. It's another pathway to getting the house legal. And we started noticing areas of the house that were non-compliant with the building code. So along here, there were no top plates. Our lintels for our windows were incorrect. The framing was framed incorrectly. We soon realized that a COA wouldn't apply in this scenario. That's when we made the difficult call to variate our contract with the client, and we had to strip all the cladding off this area and essentially start again to redo all of the poor workmanship.
So as part of our process going through this build and trying to understand what was happening here, we discovered that these points here, we've got 4 point loads in this property, which are holding up that ridge beam that's above us. None of those ridge beams were actually loading effectively down onto these point loads and therefore transferring down. So we ended up having to reframe these point loads and get our engineer to check that that was all appropriately done to modern code, as we do with our services here at Cody Cup Blackman. We decided that this is a relatively small property with 4 bedrooms, and there was no real storage, no wardrobes or anything like that. So we had this wasted space which would have just been a rake ceiling up there, but we spoke to the clients and quickly decided that we'd put a false floor up above here and a lower ceiling height through here, so that you'll have access up into these cubbies above here in both bedrooms, just to allow for a bit more storage.
When we started looking at this room, we realized that this wall had by far met its durability requirements, which is a nice way of saying it was rotten. The budget here was tight, but this wall needed to be tended to, and we've managed to squeeze through a reclad of just this wall as part of our minor variation plans. As this was going to be extended out that way, we've basically said to council that we've taken that end wall that was part of this extension and brought it forward into this existing building line to then get away with recladding just this wall and doing a little bit of framing remediation without having to bring in the reclad team from council. Because if you bring in the reclad team from council, from everywhere it was rotten, you go a metre that way, a metre that way, a metre that way, and a metre that way. So we would be pulling up the floor, we'd be pulling up downstairs, we'd be pulling up the ceiling downstairs, and that would just blow the budget. And whilst doing the best physical work on site is our objective always, it's got to be realistic within the client's budget. If we're spending more money than they have, the project won't happen and they'll get a worse result.
So as part of this wall reclad, we also replaced this roof, because this roof here was a deck over the top of it, and when we pulled the deck up, we realised that the roof was completely rusted out and also didn't have any fall on it. So it's been repitched to modern standards and new roofing iron, so that the lower flats downstairs aren't getting any more water intrusion into them.
Common with the theme of this job, we had a new set of entryway stairs running up here and then doglegging and returning back up onto that deck to form a new front door. And these 135mm glulam posts were part of that design. So they were going to be a part of our staircase and our new deck. But as soon as we pull out the old deck and have a look, Bluetooth posts. So once again, design and build, what we do at Caldicott Blackman. We've got the engineer speccing a design that will allow us to install a new footing and scarf that footing and a new piece of post into the existing, so we don't have to incur the cost of replacing this whole 135mm post. Because this is mini Coro, you need castellated cavity batten, and the cavity batten that was all used here was just square. So what that means, the cavity system has water vapor buildup, and then it flows down behind the cladding but not in the framing line, and then it comes out the bottom of your cavity. And by having square batten, it traps the water in that area and creates a damp and cold house. So we removed the cladding and we replaced all of the cavity batten, the building paper, and we also redesigned the flashings around all of the penetrations because they were non-compliant with the building consent plans. This job, it's created some restrictions on the way that we work that we don't usually have with budget. And as a result of that, we've actually had to reuse the existing cladding that came off. And it comes with some visual compromises, but it's important to us that we get a result for the client that they're happy with and that's compliant with the building code and E2, but within their budget constraints.
So all in all, I mean, it's been a fantastic job for us, and we've had challenges, but that's nothing that we at Caldicott Blackman can't deal with. This is what we deal with every day, and the level of expertise and workmanship that we have done here is seen throughout all of our projects, and this is what we do.
This job has challenged us. It's really shown us what levers we can pull in order to get something across the line. Yeah, it's been a great experience for us, and our clients are absolutely wrapped with the work, so we couldn't be happier. If you've got a project that's similar difficulty or even something straightforward like a new build or a renovation, we're happy to help you wherever you're at. We can help you through the design process and through council, or if you've got consented plans, we can tender it and start when you're ready. All you need to do is jump on our website, book a free call, we'll get in touch with you. I always say to people early on in the process, our advice is free. We'll come out to site, we'll meet you, we'll explain what we can and can't do, we'll give you a preliminary budget, and we'll work from there. We'll make something magic.